how will you find out strain developed in this direction because of same stress? So if this direction I'm saying as B direction, then epsilon B, how will you find out? Very, very easy. Just put minus mu, that's all, in front of this equation. So epsilon A divided by E. This much was already there. I just added this minus mu here, extra part. So just sigma A was given. Because of this sigma A, I am able to find out strain in same direction and strain in lateral direction. Lateral means any other direction perpendicular to A. Okay. So one stress is developing this thing, this much. Very, very clear. Now let me ask everyone whether this is being clear or not. Ruchika, is that being clear? Ruchika, am I audible? Mahesh, is it being clear? Very good. Pavitra, clear? Poonam, clear? Prachi, clear? Suraj? Tirthraj? Very good. If really it is being clear, it means we are on right track. Now, you see here in my explanation, because of, just now I explained, because of, not this much, sorry. Because of sigma 1 stress, you are developing one strain here, one strain here, and one strain here. They all are because of sigma 1 stress, because this is 3D system. So sigma 1 can generate strains in 3 directions. But which direction is your interest? If you are interested in only x direction, then this much is your answer. Remaining 2 parts are coming because of other 2 loads are there. Now, because of sigma 2, this is not sigma, this is strain. I am talking about stress. Because of stress sigma 2, again we will generate 3 strains. One is this in same direction of sigma 2. One is this in perpendicular direction of sigma 2. One is, I'm missing mu here. One is this because of sigma 2 in perpendicular directions. And then we will connect them all together in one direction. Just one more time. Any random direction I am choosing now. Any random direction. In this random direction, I am saying this direction as any direction, P direction. Because you guys should not be on the variables. That's why I am changing the variable. This is P direction. And suppose this is Q direction. So in P direction, I am applying some stress, that is sigma P. So I am saying sigma P will generate 2 types of stresses. In P direction, 2 types of strains, sorry. 2 strains it will generate. One in P direction, so that time it will be sigma P by E very clearly, and one in Q direction. This is one direction, this is another direction. When you want to find out strain in Q direction, simple, minus mu you multiply in this option answer. So sigma P by E. Suppose this is the 2D object, that's why sigma P I have given only 2 strains. So imagine this is 3D body. In that case, 1/3 direction will come. Suppose the direction is R, which is like perpendicular thing, R direction. So in R direction also, it will generate, that will be again, in this same answer, again multiply mu. So minus mu sigma P by E. So see, sigma P alone, I have not counted sigma Q and sigma R still. Only sigma Q alone giving you 3 different strains in different directions. So point is, these 3 you don't add together. No. Don't do like that. These three are in different directions. That's why you can't add them. I mean, if I will ask total strain, then it is not like, sir, sigma p by E minus mu sigma p by E minus mu sigma p by, no, this is wrong. You are adding different directions together, which is wrong, totally wrong. If I will ask only because of sigma p, what is the stress in y direction, then you will say, sir, this is the answer. I mean, any other answer you can say, this or this. Sorry, I said y? No. I mean, this direction was p, so I will ask, because of sigma p, developed strains in r direction because of sigma p. Then you will say, sir, this part, minus mu. And if I will ask in same direction, simple, this much by E. So, if I will consider, like I have considered here sigma p, now suppose I am considering q, sigma q. Now guys, see, sigma q will again generate stresses in three direction. One will be its own direction, that is q direction. There sigma q by E directly. One and remaining two perpendicular directions. So there you multiply minus mu in this. Simple. Mu or nu, both are same. You multiply minus mu in this answer. Means sigma q by E. That's all. This became your strain developed in any other perpendicular direction, which is perpendicular to q. It may be R or it may be P also, P direction also. So again same answer, minus q sigma q by E. So guys, we are able to develop strains in all the directions because of all the three stresses. Means what? If you will apply, now I am coming to XYZ properly. Now suppose you have three axis systems, X, Y, Z. Once this class will get over, you guys have to be master in this topic, okay? It's not like you will leave something for revision purpose. No. Imagine you have any 3D object. This is 3D object which is bearing sigma x, sigma y and sigma z stresses. And one more thing, you make a note here. This is not the fashion what I am writing here. The main fashion is like this: sigma x x, tau x y, like the two subscripts we are writing. So what is the meaning? Why are we writing two subscript? See, I am just deviating little bit from our main topic. I will explain you what is tensor quantity. Tensor quantity will be having first thing magnitude, next thing direction, and third thing, after magnitude and direction, third thing is plane. Okay, so magnitude is like how much stress is there, 10 Pascal, 12 Pascal, that became your magnitude. So this sigma, only sigma is your magnitude. Remaining plane and direction are given by this guy and this guy. So which one is showing you plane, which one is showing you what? So see, remember P, D. Okay, this is P, this is D. Trick is pen drive. Pen drive means P, D. P means plane, D means direction. First one will give you idea about plane and second one will give you idea about direction. Keep in mind. You can make note somewhere or you can take a screenshot. Now I will explain this topic little more. And don't bother when we are discussing concept, that is like Amrit, that is main concept, that is main thing whenever we are discussing concept. And if you guys will be thinking like, okay sir, time is very less, whether we'll be able to work out or not. So there are people working for preparing for 2 years, 3 years, and like me, people preparing for 6-7 years, but still I am not able to get in first rank. So actually it is not depending on time of 40 days or 45 days. How nicely we are able to cover syllabus quickly. So that is my responsibility. I am telling you, before 20 or 22nd January, everything will be fully prepared. And I am telling you guys, it is my responsibility that all the formulas will be on your fingertips. I will make you to understand and remember all the formulas. Okay, come to the point. See, we have three things. We have scalar, we have vector, and we have tensor. These are the three quantities available in our science. This may be new for some people, because whenever I am teaching, even if I am having class of 4 students, batch of 4 students, then pakka one student will not be knowing about tensor. Now see guys, scalar quantities are those quantities who has nothing to do with the direction or plane or something. They will only be having magnitude. Okay, for example, temperature, for example, time. How will you feel that time has nothing to do with direction? It is very, very easy to understand. For example, currently in my iPad, time is 6:42. If I will change the direction of iPad, currently I'm keeping iPad like this. If I'll keep my iPad like this, will time change? No. You consider me and you. In which direction you are sitting, in which direction I am sitting. Those directions are not affecting time. So time has no effect of direction. So that's why time, we don't mention direction with time. I'm not talking on geographical way. I'm just talking about the property time. Geographically, at every location we have different time, but I'm not talking about that time. I'm talking about space time. Now you go to temperature. How will you feel that temperature is scalar quantity? Temperature is scalar because again, direction has nothing to do with temperature. How will you understand that? Very simple concept. Suppose this is my kitchen. In this kitchen, I have kept a stove here, and I have some LPG, and I'm cooking some coffee. So I am able to prepare coffee in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I'm making coffee. Suppose next day, I will change my direction of stove. I'll keep like this. My kitchen is like this now. So will I take 1 hour to prepare coffee? No, because coffee is based on temperature, and when you are changing the direction, again you are making same coffee in 5 minutes. It means again temperature is same. Another way to understand this is temperature in any body is because of molecular hit, molecular bombardment, molecular friction. So if these two molecules will hit each other like this, or they hit each other like this, or they hit each other like this direction will not decide how much temperature will create, because same temperature will create in all the direction, and same temperature will create if you are not changing the number of mass of molecules. So again, direction does not matter. So that's why temperature is magnitude, only magnitude. It is not having this thing. But at the same time, vector quantities, we have force. Force is a vector quantity. How will you experience? Very, very simple. Suppose this is my door. Suppose this is my door, and this is some student. Consider name of the student is Tirth Raj. Guys, you might be remembering before 2-3 days Tirth Raj got birthday, and still his party is pending. What shameless people are there? Every day party, they are not giving party. Okay, so Tirth Raj is, I am saying Tirth Raj, give me some hair to the Tirth Raj. Okay, Tirth Raj here. Okay, so I said to Tirth Raj applied 10 Newton force and open the door. So what Tirth Raj will do? Being a fool guy, Tirth Raj will come to the door. Tirth Raj will hold the door from the bottom, and he will try to pull the door up. Means he will break the door. And why he will break the door? Because I have gave him only one data, 10 Newton. Then suppose Suraj is there. Okay. Now Suraj will come, and Suraj, I will say Suraj, can you apply 10 Newton force? Suraj, yes sir, I am from UP Bihar, I can apply 100 Newton I can apply. I say, okay Suraj, no problem, calm down. Apply only 10 Newton force and open the door. Then what Suraj will do? Suraj will hold the door here, and he will push the door down. Again he will break the door. What I am missing? In both the people, one thing we are missing. I gave them only the magnitude. I did not give them the right direction. So if I will say them that okay, apply force here in this direction. So apply force, that was I already gave, but in which direction, that I did not give. So here direction is matter, automatically direction matters now. So you don't have to remember any quantity, they are scalar or vector. You by yourself you experience that if direction is being important to perform the task, it means that quantity is vector quantity. So some vector quantities we can feel, and some vector quantities, like I am not that much educated to let you to feel all the quantities, but definitely some quantities I can make you to feel. In same way, there is something called tensor quantity. Scalar over, vector over, tensor over. Sorry, tensor. Now let's understand what is tensor. So see, suppose you have stress. Let me draw this 3D object. If I will tell you, I have a, for example, I have shear stress. And whenever the word shear comes, quickly you should keep in mind, shear means it acts on plane. Like yesterday example I told you, na, apply force here, then this plane will shift in this direction. So shear stress will act on this plane. So you can see one new information is coming, plane. So when one more thing is clear, plane is there, okay, in this plane, but in which direction? This direction or this direction? I mean, this plane is shifting in this direction or in this direction. So if I am writing tau xy, then remember pen drive. Pen drive says P means plane, on which plane it is acting. D means in which direction it is acting. And this is the value, like how much it is acting. So if I am saying 12 Pascal, so okay, 12 Pascal, on which plane? You can say Z plane. In which direction? In X direction. So let's feel that everything in 3D now. You know, this is what we get privilege of being teacher. We can blabber anything in class and student will listen. Okay, consider this is X, this is Y, and this is Z. And best part is, to blabber anything we get paid. Okay guys, you see, first of all, from the basic mathematics you should understand how do we decide plane. So whenever you have X plane, you have Y plane, you have Z plane. X plane is plane which is perpendicular to X plane. Simple. Any plane which is perpendicular to X plane, that is X plane. So you can see here, this plane is perpendicular to X plane. You can see this plane is perpendicular to Z plane. This plane is perpendicular to Y plane. So this is how we decide plane. Now next thing, suppose you have sigma x z and you have tau, for example, xz. What is the physical feel of this? Sigma is always direct stress. You remember yesterday when I was teaching stress, in the beginning itself I showed you some tree diagram that we have direct stress, it is produced by force directly. We have indirect stress, this is produced by bending moment and torque. Bending moment can produce again sigma and tau, but that time we don't say them direct stress, we say them bending stresses. Shear stress because of bending, and this stress, direct stress because of bending. But here we don't say them direct or something, we simply say them simple stresses. So for that, guys, to finish 25% syllabus, we always pay 75% time. Remaining 75% syllabus is very easy once the concept is done. See, in this part, sigma is the magnitude, for example 10 Pascal. What is this x? This x will tell you, remember, pen drive. This x will tell you plane, on which plane. So it means what? This sigma is acting on x plane, but in which direction? In z direction. Okay. Now see. So when search the plane x plane. So this is your x plane. Okay. But where is h direction? Sorry, where is z direction? Like this, like this, like this. So this stress cannot be normal stress. This is shear stress because it is just touching the plane. Sigma will never be xy or something. Sigma will always be xx, y, z. This is the trick point. You will never find sigma as xy. I mean, they both will not be same. So if I am writing sigma xz, then x plane and z direction. So it is no more sigma because it will take the plate in this direction. Plate will shift. So when plate is shifting, it means that is tau. Okay. So here, that was my point. Suppose in same diagram, let me erase. Suppose in same diagram, if I want to explain tau zx. So first you search z plane. This is your z plane. So where is z plane here? So plane perpendicular to z axis. That is z plane. So this is your z plane. Why that is z plane? Because you can see z axis is here, right? This is the direction of z axis. So perpendicular to z axis. Axis you consider anywhere, no problem. But direction should not change. So z axis is clear. So z plane is clear. Once you have done your idea about z plane, then you have to bother about direction. So tau is acting in z plane. So okay, I got my plane, but in which direction? X direction. So where is x direction? This is x direction. So this you will say as tau x zx. Tau zx, how will you show? Like this. Okay, and this length of arrow, it is a vector quantity, definitely vector, and tensor is more than vector. So length of the arrow will decide how much big it is. Like if suppose your one tau is 10 Pascal and another tau is some 20 Pascal. So for this you will show arrow this much, then for this you will show arrow double, like that. But in local, rural, I mean this kind of diagram, simply we are learning about concept. So anyway, so this is what notation of the shear stress. Things are being clear now. Again, keep this one in mind. Sigma you never write with two different subscript. Let's understand in this example itself, if I have to explain. Guys, can someone write on my screen using your system? I don't think it's possible, right? Tirthraj, can you write on my screen using your laptop? Okay. Okay. Possible on Zoom. Okay, not here. Fine. So this was I want to know that where I will draw sigma yy. This was my question I wanted to ask. That's why I thought you guys will draw and show me. So see, first thing, you always remember this sigma is always a perpendicular thing, and this tau is always shear thing. Suppose if on this plane, if you have to apply sigma, then there is only one way. That way is exactly perpendicular. First you give the name sigma, then you decide which plane, which direction. So fortunately this is z plane, so z, and direction is also z, so sigma zz. This plane if you will apply here, then which plane it is? Very simple. Which plane it is? X plane. So first you write sigma x plane, and which direction it is? X direction only, so sigma xx. And on this plane, if you apply same kind of normal perpendicular stress, then how will you decide sigma? How will you decide? Write sigma first, then decide plane. Plane is y, then decide direction. Remember the trick, pen drive. First we decide plane, then we decide direction. Very, very clear. So now if I will give you that I have sigma xx acting on a body, on an object, consider 3D rectangular object, then this will generate strains in three directions. This will generate strain in x direction, this will generate strain in y direction, this will also generate strain in z direction. Now what is strain? What is strain? Strain is nothing but change in length divided by length. Okay, so because sigma is acting in x direction, so definitely length on x axis will increase. So this guy will be positive and these two people will be negative. So don't write negative sign here. You only know that this answer will be how much? Direct answer, sigma xx by e. This answer will be how much? Same answer multiplied by mu. So minus mu sigma xx by e. This answer will be how much? Same answer, copy, minus mu sigma xx divided by e. So these three strains we got because of sigma xx. Now you try to get sigma yy, you apply, and because of sigma yy again you will be getting three strains. So first you get sigma x, epsilon x. Sorry guys, this is sigma and this is epsilon. If I am saying something wrong, just don't mind. This is sigma, this is epsilon, and this is tau. Tau means shear stress. This is normal stress or perpendicular stress or axial stress, and this guy is strain. Okay, and gamma is shear strain. We always connect gamma with tau and sigma with epsilon. So this is z. So for this y, how to calculate the answer? Because y direction na, so this y will come directly, y by e. If you want to find out epsilon x, then choose the same answer, multiply minus mu sigma y by e. Sigma z, how will you find out? Choose the same answer, sigma y by e multiply by mu. So because of sigma x, in x direction you got one strain. Because of sigma y, in x direction you got another strain. In same way, if you will apply sigma zz, then again you will be getting three strains, x, y, z. So first you calculate z1, very easy, sigma zz by e. Then here multiply minus mu epsilon zz, sigma zz by e minus mu sigma zz by e. Now these are the strains what we are writing because of single effect. Because of single effect we have written this. Now we have to combine all x direction strain together. I told you don't add these values, add x together. Means this is x value because sigma x, epsilon x. Then again this is epsilon x value, and again this is epsilon x value. You add these values together. So when you will be adding these values, then you will be finding total strain in x direction. Try to understand my point. So now this epsilon total in x direction. So that was because of first, that was sigma xx by e. Then because of this part, minus mu sigma yy because of e. Then this part minus mu sigma zz because of e. In same way, epsilon total in y direction. So first you write sigma yy by e. Then here multiply minus mu epsilon yy by e. Then here multiply minus mu epsilon sigma yy by E. Now epsilon total in a z direction. First you write z, sigma zz by E, you got in z direction, then minus mu multiply in this answer, so up sigma zz by E, then again minus mu sigma zz by E. Now you see, understand the physical field. Physical field is when a body is loaded with three-dimensional stress, sigma x is and sigma y and sigma z, then the combined effect of sigma xx, sigma yy and sigma z, combined effect of all those three stresses will give you strain in x direction. So this is the total strain because of all sigma xx, sigma yy and sigma zz. We got total strain in x direction. I hope it's been clear. Then again, because of all those people, we got strain in this direction. Actually, I think I have done something wrong, because you see, this is all sigma yy, this is all sigma yy, this is sigma. I have, in hurry bari I did mistake. When we are adding total y, then we have to search yy. This is your y in x direction. So minus, what is mistake here? This part is, I am correcting the mistake. This should be sigma xx and this should be sigma zz. And here this should be xx, this should be yy. Okay. So because of sigma xx, sigma yy and sigma zz, we have total strains in this direction, y direction. Then again, because of sigma xx, sigma yy and sigma zz, we have total strains in this direction. So if total strain is clear, total stress is clear, then lot of things are clear now. Lot of things. Now total stress strain clear, and let me see if we are remaining with something else.